Well, good morning. I'm Nick Neese. I'm the Director of Athletics at Passaic County Technical Institute. We had the privilege to welcome Dr. Paul Wichansky today to do an assembly for our fall student athletes for the fall of 2016. Presentation was done in front of approximately 400 student athletes. This is actually the second time that I've had the opportunity to see Dr. Paul speak. He did a fantastic job, very engaging with the student athletes, gave them a great message about vision and goal settings, and also did a tremendous presentation on the ability and disability side of things, and really put things in perspective for our students. So I would highly recommend that you welcome Dr. Wichansky to your school and to your school community, and he will do great things and make tremendous connections with your kids.
He is such an incredible inspiration to us, as we are always teaching the kids about character, positivity, teaching them challenges and being challenged, and how to stand up to a challenge and how to overcome challenges, and being tolerant of others and getting along with all different types of people in this world, which they will do. And we really like to think that we do a nice job and try to always keep giving them real life experiences. And having Paul come in here is an incredible motivation for our students, because he is a real life example of someone who has overcome and continues to overcome challenges, and he just is an incredible motivation for our students and staff. And I keep saying staff too, because when he stands up there and speaks, the adults are so completely engaged, just as the students are too. And he really knows how to touch people's hearts and get them to really truly believe in themselves. We thank Paul again in his 8th year here, and we look forward to so many more years of having him here. He is such a great role model, mentor, teacher, and a source of inspiration for all of us here in the school district. And I continue, and I look forward to, and I continue to encourage my colleagues in other districts and other friends who are administrators and teachers to bring him in to speak with their students and staff as well. I cannot speak highly enough about Paul. We're so thankful to have him here with us in the school and with us in life.
He said during his talk that don't let your attitude become your biggest disability, because that's the only thing that really can stop you. A young lady at the end of class asked him, she said she knows a student who has a cerebral palsy, and her dream is to become a physician. But, people are telling her, no, you can't, there's too many obstacles, how could you ever pursue becoming a doctor? And Dr. Paul's advice was, if you want it bad enough, you're going to find a way. Don't let anything stop you. Go for it. And every obstacle that comes up is just something to get over, to get through, to get around, to get past. The only thing that can stop you is your desire to quit. So if your desire to reach your goal is stronger than your desire to quit, and that's what Dr. Paul's talk was about tonight. I would say that a speaker like Paul Wichansky is appropriate for college age. This was a graduate class that he spoke to tonight, but any age, because people of any age need to be reminded that anything's possible. Anything's possible if you work for it, if you're determined, and you don't quit.
My name is Fred Basoy, and I'm a first-year medical student at Robert Wood Johnson Medical School at Rutgers. And today we had Dr. Paul Wichansky speak at our lunch lecture. There was about 15 first-year and second-year medical students, and it was a great time. I feel very uplifted. I think Dr. Paul is an incredibly motivational and inspirational speaker, and it was a pleasure having him here. And I think he really brought some insight, some unique insight that I don't think I would have otherwise had. So thank you, Dr. Paul.
My name is Bill Lockren. I'm the principal here at Homedale High School. It's a 9 to 12 high school in Monmouth County with approximately 950 students. We were privileged this morning to hear Dr. Paul present his motivational talk to our student body. We did it in 2 sessions, our 9th and 10th grade, followed by our 11th and 12th grade. And I can't tell you how well received it was. Just absolutely inspiring, gratifying, deeply moving. A number of students came up after each presentation to speak with Dr. Paul. There were moments of spontaneous applause. It's a message of joy and hope and good feelings, and I challenge anyone not to come out of it with their frown turned upside down. I recommend it highly.
Hi, my name is Mike Fazzino. I'm a senior at Homedale High School. I just watched Dr. Paul's presentation. It was one of the most heartwarming things I've ever seen. I have 2 family members that suffer from the same handicap, and just watching Dr. Paul, give such a heartwarming, motivational speech like that really shows that anyone could do anything that they set their mind to, and it was very powerful to watch. And thank you so much, Dr. Paul.
Hello, my name is Amy Lynn Rodriguez. I'm the principal of Hudson County Schools of Technology's Explore 2000 Middle School. And today we are celebrating a kickoff to the Week of Respect, October 2016. Dr. Paul asked me to provide you some feedback with regard to his presentation. This is my first time ever sitting in a presentation of Dr. Paul's, though he's been a great foundation for anti-bullying and teaching children how to respect themselves and really reaching their goals. The district has used him probably for about 4 years now, right?
No, 8.
8 years. Wow, you've been here for 8 years with us. And I was completely amazed by the students' attentiveness to everything that Dr. Paul had to say, talking about if you ever feel like you can't do it, just pulling out the T like Dr. Paul's dad used to say to do, and that there's nothing that our children cannot do.
My name is Linda DiGiacomo, and I'm the anti-bullying coordinator for the Hudson County Schools of Technology. This is probably my 5th time to bring Dr. Paul into the district. He has presented at my high schools, my alternative schools, and now at the middle school level. He brings an incredible message to the students, one of being able to achieve whatever you can achieve, to respect everyone, and to always be an upstander, something that we believe in very strongly, especially through harassment, intimidation, and bullying, that being an upstander is very important, and Dr. Paul gets that message across. Not only that, and many others to the students. They love his presentation. They applaud him at the end. They always come up with questions and want to talk to him.
They laugh throughout.
They laugh. He's just incredible to have to come into your school and present to your students on any level, from middle school to high school.
Good afternoon. My name is Katie Lemrick. I am the vice principal at Reading Fleming Intermediate School, and we just finished 3 assemblies with Dr. Paul Wichansky, who came in to speak to our students about disability awareness and anti-bullying and creating an inclusive environment here at our school. And we tied that into our Unity Day experience this spring, which is really the theme was about embracing and appreciating those who have different abilities. And Dr. Wichansky's assembly was absolutely fabulous. Students came up to him at the end, really wanting to thank him and telling them how much they appreciated his presentation. And we're so happy to have him back. This is his 8th assembly that he's done, 8th year that he's done an assembly here, and so we're really excited to have him back here, and I'm certain you would love to have him at your school as well.
We have just heard Dr. Paul Wichansky speak to our association. It was an incredible experience. I had never met Dr. Paul, and upon entering the restaurant and speaking with him, I found out that he had spoken previously to my son in middle school. And he told me, was your son excited about it? And I said, yes, as a matter of fact, he was. He did come home and tell me about it. Dr. Paul asked my last name, and he looked it up on his phone, and he's actually friends with my son on Facebook. The inspirational stories, the lessons that he taught all of us today, we're truly blessed to have this experience with him. My son is now a freshman in college and just texted me and told me, please tell Dr. Paul hello. and that it brightened his day to hear from him. So I want to thank you, Dr. Paul. It was truly a wonderful experience, something that I'll never forget. And I want to follow up with you next year to see how you are in your goals that you still have not completed.
I also want to thank Jay from A Vision in Motion. When we were looking for a motivational speaker, I reached out to Jay and told him what was in our budget, and he, and what we were looking for. We wanted someone who was inspirational and had some humor, and he said, I have the person for you. Let's see if he's available. And he said, Dr. Paul would be perfect, and he was absolutely right. Jay knew what we wanted, and it was humorous. It had everyone engaged. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed the presentation, and we're just so lucky to have had Dr. Paul here with us. Thank you.
I was very impressed with his message of his disability turning it into a capability. And the first thing that he said that sparked the audience was turning a smile that started the program. Many key points he showed was talking about his adversity throughout life. He brought in his family, and I think he struck the kids where they understood that he can overcome and become as regular as all the kids around him. He did show a nice video of his passion for Billy Joel. He talked about his car and how he changed all the little plates from a Honda to a BMW, and his great artistic work as well. And the kids seemed to connect with him and didn't treat him any other way, but really embraced him on his courage to come out and speak. He thanked Mr. Specken, who is one of our faculty at the middle school. But at the end, it got all the kids to know that there is no disability in achieving what you can be, no matter where you are in life, whether it's school or a job.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Kurt Fogus, principal here at Hillside Avenue School in Cranford. We are a kindergarten through 8th grade building, and this is the winter of 2017. This morning we had the great pleasure of having Dr. Paul Wichansky meet with our grades 3 through 5 and an assembly program also for our grades 6 through 8. Rave reviews on the part of students and staff, and really presented a wonderful program to promote empathy and inclusion of our students. This is the second time that Paul has been to our school. I have no reservations in bringing him back tomorrow and in the future. You cannot go wrong with a program with Dr. Wichansky.
Tonight, Dr. Paul came in and spoke to us about your story, and I was very inspired by it in many ways. Just the will to keep going when others tell you, that you can't, or that you're different than somebody else, but your differences don't actually make you any more different unless you allow them to. So I was truly inspired by the message tonight.
Truly inspired by Dr. Paul, and I will never forget by being just the way you are. And I would say that to all my students and all my football players, always be just the way you are.
And I really like the part about focusing on what you can do rather than what you can't do and what your limitations are. So I absolutely plan on taking my full page of notes that I took tonight and sharing it with my students and coaches. So thank you.
Yes.
Rob Gilbert from Montclair State University. My area of specialization is sports psychology. And I just had Dr. Paul Wichansky speak in my class for, I think it was the 5th time. And every single time he gets a standing ovation. Every single time people stay after and want to speak to him. And every single class, the next class people say, that was the best talk I've ever heard. So if you have a chance to hear Paul or hire Paul, don't let it pass.